Hi everyone, welcome to this session. We're discussing about introduction to matrices, and we will define a matrix as the arrangement of characters in rows and columns with a square bracket enclosing such kind of characters. So if you arrange characters in form of a row and columns and enclose them with a bracket, a square bracket, we call such kind of a combination as a matrix. So you can see an example of a matrix. You can see the bracket we have in A, B, C, D, E, F, which has been enclosed by a square bracket. So a matrix must be having this square bracket. Without it, then it won't be a matrix. Number two, we have said a matrix is defined by two key parameters. The first one is it must be having a row and it must be having columns. So rows are the horizontal characters, the characters which have been arranged in horizontal, and the columns are the ones which have been arranged vertically. So from this particular matrix, you can see the vertical components form how many columns. This is the first column, this is the second column, and this is the third column. So meaning our matrix has got 3 columns. We have said rows are the ones which have been arranged horizontally. The characters forming the horizontal component are this one, A, B, C, D. So meaning this is the first row and this is the second row. So basically we can say this particular matrix has got 2 rows. 1 row, second row. It has also got 3 columns. The first column, second column, third column. So our next component that we shall discuss is about the order of a matrix. A matrix consists of rows and columns, like we have said. A row is the horizontal arrangement of items, like we have clearly stated. A column is the vertical arrangement of items. We have also stated that. Now, when you want to determine the order of a matrix, the order of a matrix is determined using the number of rows against the number of columns. And for you to state the order, you start with the number of rows in that particular matrix, followed by the columns. That is why we are saying the number of rows and the columns determine the order of a matrix, which is given by first stating the number of rows, followed by the number of columns. So whenever you want to state the order of a given matrix, you need to establish the number of rows. Then you also need to determine the number of columns. So for you to state the order, you start with the number of rows, followed by the number of columns. And there has to be a multiplication sign between the two. So if you want to write the order of this matrix, the order of this matrix will be given by the number of rows. You can see this is the number of rows, which are 2. Against the number of columns, 1, 2, 3. So such kind, the order of this matrix is 2 by 3. 2 multiplied by 3, meaning these are the number of rows, this is the number of columns. And that matrix is called a 2 by 3 matrix. 2 by 3 matrix. We move to a very interesting area, which is elements of a matrix. Elements of a matrix. We want to clearly determine the position of each character in the matrix. Because if you wanted to tell me, determine the position of character E, how would I say it? We must get the address of this particular character in the matrix. So what we are going to do, we're going to write the positions according to the rows and columns. So we will take the same matrix and state the positions. Like if you are given A, B, C, D, E, F. We can even extend it G, H, I. If you are given such a matrix and you are supposed to write the position of that particular matrix, remember we have said you can start by knowing the order of the matrix. This matrix has got how many rows? This is the first row, the second row, and the third row. Those are the rows. So I'm saying this one will form our first row, this one will form our second row, this one will form our third row. So these are the rows. This is the first row, this is the second row, and this is the third row. So after you have identified that, you also need to know the number of columns. The number of columns will be these. That is the first column, the one I've put in dotted because they are the vertical ones. This one also forms the second column. This one also forms the third column. So clearly that shows that this matrix is 3 by 3 matrix, whereby this is the rows and this is the columns. So such a matrix is defined as a 3 by 3 matrix. I want now to determine the position of this particular matrix. I can write it on the other side. Like if you are given A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. This first character, I will write the position of this one. Remember this one, this A is in the first row, and it is also in the first column. So this is the first row, first column. I move to this one. Remember this is the first row. All these characters are in the first row, but different columns. This one is in the second column, but in the first row. So B is in the first row, but in the second column. C is in the first row, but in the third column. We come to this other one. We are now moving to the second row. This is the second row. This was our first row. All these letters D, E, F are in the second row. So meaning this is in the second row but the first column. They're in the second row, second column. Second row but third column. So we are done with the second row. We now move to the third row. We now move to the third row. Remember, this is in the third row, but first column. This is in the third row, but second column. Third row, third column. So we have stated the positions of the elements in this particular matrix. So having said that, we are now going to add. We are now going to look at how we add various matrices and how we subtract various matrices. So addition of matrices. Addition of matrices and addition and subtraction. We will start from addition. So what you do whenever you're adding, you will add elements with the same positions. Like if you want to add a matrix, you will add another element with the same position. For instance, you are given an example. Find A plus B given that A is equals to, maybe we can just write this matrix P, Q, R, S, and you are given your B to be equal to M, N, and we can have GH. If you are given such kind of matrix, remember some other books write these as a curved bracket. It is still the same. You can have a square bracket, you can have a curved bracket, but avoid writing straight lines. Because if you write characters and you do this, you will be meaning something different. You can either take the square brackets or you can take the curved brackets. They mean the same thing. So whenever you are given this, so A plus B, remember this one will be 1, 1, this one will be 1, 2, this one will be 2, 1, this will be 2, 2. This will be 1, 1. This will be 1, 2. 2, 1, 2, 2. We have said when you're adding, you take characters with the same position. 1, 1, 1, 1. 1, 2, 1, 2. That is what we will be doing. So basically we will be having the first character will be added to this character. The second one will be added to the second one. So basically what I mean is I will take P plus M. Then I will take this one plus this one. So that I will be having Q plus N. I will come to the second row, the first character here with the first character there, which is R plus G. I will come to the second one with the second one. So that is S plus H. So basically that is how you add matrices. We now want to take a practical example on how you add this. On how you will add that. We're taking a practical example on how you can add various matrices. So we can take an example here. Find given A is equals to 2, 3, 4, 7. B is equals to maybe minus 3, 1, and you are given 8, 4. I said you can use brackets, you can use curved brackets, whichever one you decide to use, it is still the same. It's still the same thing. Huh? So if you are given that, find A plus B. So the solution will be A plus B will be equal to, you will write it as 2, 4, 3, 7 plus minus 3, 1, 8, 4. So when you're adding, we say you take the first character plus the first character, second plus the second. So we'll be having 2 plus minus 3. Then you skip some space, then you take 4 plus 1. You come to the second one here, 3 plus 8. Then you skip some space again, you take this second one plus this second one, 7 plus 4. Then you can have your brackets like that. The next thing you do is to add. You can add this, you will get 2 minus 3, you will get minus 1. 4 plus 1, you get 5. 3 plus 8, you get 11. And this one is 11. So when you are summing, that is what you get. So the sum of that matrix will be given by that. We are now moving to another example for subtraction. Subtraction of matrices. Subtraction is the opposite of what we have done. So subtraction in matrices. So when you are subtracting given, we want to repeat the same example, but with subtraction. Given A is equal to 2, 4, 3, 7, and B is equals to minus 3, 1, 8, 4. Find A minus B. If you are told to subtract, you will repeat the same thing, but the sign should be subtraction. So A minus B will be equal to 2, 3, 4, 7 minus 3, 1, 8, 4, which will be equal to, can take it here, can take it down here. So you will take the first one minus the second one, which will be 2, minus 3. This is minus 3. You skip some space, take 4 minus 1. 4 minus 1. Come to the next one. 3 minus 8. 3 minus 8. Then 7 minus 4. So that is what you will be having. Remember, this one will be the same as if you subtract 2 minus, and a minus is a plus, which gives you a positive. So 2 plus 3, you get 5. You get 5. 4 minus 1, you will get 3. 3 minus 8, you will get minus 5. 7 minus 4, you will get 3. So basically, once you subtract, therefore we can say A minus B is equal to 5, 3 minus 5, 3. We can do one last example. We can take one last example. That is a combined subtraction and addition, whereby you are told, we can take another example. Given that P is equals to 1, 4, 2, 6, Q is equals to 4, 3, 9, 2, and R is equals to 5, 2, 7, 3, 5, A plus, we are told to get P plus Q minus R. If you are given such a question, what will be the solution? So P plus Q minus R will be the same as, you just arrange it as it is, 1, 4, 2, 6, plus 4, 3, 9, 2, minus 5, 2, 7, 3. So once you are there, you can rearrange it as you have done it before. So you take 1 plus 4 minus 5. So we can have it as 1 plus 4 minus 5. You skip some space, take the next one, which will be 4 plus 3 minus 2. You come to the next line where you'll be having 2 plus 9 minus 7. Come to the next one, 6 plus this. So in this case we are taking this, that. Remember, even in the first case we did this, we took this, and then this. So we are taking 6 plus 2 minus. These are plus and these are minus. So we will take 6 plus 2 minus 3. So this will be equal to 1 plus 4, 5. 5 minus 5, you will get a 0. You get a 0. Then 4 plus 3, 7 minus 2, you will get 5. 2 plus 9 is 11. Minus 3, you will get 4. 6 plus 2, you get 8. Minus 3, you will get 5. So the answer P plus Q minus R will be equal to that. So that is the matrix representing this particular question. So having said that, we're going to stop there. In our next class, we shall be looking at multiplication of matrices. Thank you.